I woke up 5 minutes ago and I feel like I need to talk. Recently, I've been talking with myself way too much, to be honest. It might be getting concerning if I wasn't used to it that much. So, I survived the beginning of war in Ukraine, and recently I went through the breakup. Of course, the beginning of war was harder. It's been a long time since that happened, and the memories of that I have now, they are a little faded. So I didn't want to get ready today. I didn't want to put my makeup on. I just wanted to talk. I understand why breakups are hard. You're basically not only losing a person next to you, you're also losing a part of yourself who was with that person, who was building a life with that person, who was building a routine with that person, who was living a life with that person in their life. You're losing a huge part of yourself when that happens. And more often than not, it can be unexpected. This breakup was my choice, but there wasn't much of a choice, to be honest. And still, it was very unexpected. It was very hard. And funny thing is, something that I've just realized is that I started recording videos sitting on the floor in Mexico after breakup. It was the same person, by the way. Funny enough, right? I just like to believe in the best in people. And yeah, one of the strategies that I had for coping with the breakup was talking to myself, because in Puerto Escondido, where I was in Mexico, there was nobody, literally nobody I knew back then. One person actually, surprisingly, from Bali came to Puerto Escondido during that time. It was like a life vest for me, but it was just talking to myself, running. But unfortunately, at the minute, I cannot run because I'm a bit injured. And journaling, working, journaling, and just being with myself. I'm a person who doesn't like to dwell a lot. I don't like to suffer. I love myself when I'm happy. I do everything to make sure that I'm peaceful, that I'm happy, that I'm comfortable, even when it means suffering short form in order to make myself happy long term. And that's what breakup is. Do I feel like I'm mentally tough? Maybe. I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, but I don't let my emotions take over. Sure, I was devastated. I was hurt. I gave myself 2 days to cry, and all I was doing is crying. Not even 3 days, 2.5 days. All I was doing is crying. If you want to cry, just let yourself cry. You need to let it all out. And I'm telling you, I let it all out. I don't know how a human body can hold so much fluid, but the tears didn't stop. I was crying for 2.5 days. Possibly one day I'll post the video that I recorded during the time, but probably not. It was more for myself and my future self. This video is me just talking about what I'm going through and how I'm helping myself. So if you're going through the same thing, you can feel like you're not alone. And I promise you, you're not alone. Everybody's going through a certain way of hurt in their life, but suffering is a choice. Of course, you can get hurt. Of course, it can be painful. Of course, life can be tough sometimes, but suffering is a choice. Why I gave myself only 2 days is because you get used to suffering. You get used to feeling sorry for yourself. You get used to this self-pity and this low vibration, low state that you're in. And getting out of that pit gets harder and harder the more you stay in it. You get addicted to suffering. That's what I'm trying to say. So the less you let yourself suffer, the better it would be for your future self. Being in this sadness, anger, all these negative emotions puts you on a very low vibration. And what happens, you attract from the world everything that is the same frequency that you're vibrating on. If you're in a frequency of anger, fear, sadness, you'll attract all the negative things in your life. And on the contrary, if you're on a frequency of trust, love, which are much higher frequencies, and if you're vibrating on a higher frequency, the things that you attract are positive. It's great people, it's money, it's abundance, gifts from the universe, basically, because you're vibrating on that frequency. You attract what you are, okay? That's the reason I don't like to stay on these like anger, hate, sadness frequencies, even though I fully allow myself to be drowning in it just for a short period of time. How can you become mentally tough? What life taught me and what helped me. First, if you're going through something, whether it's breakup, whether it's anything else, the first thing that helps me and the thing that keeps me sane is my routine. The world doesn't stop because you're hurt, okay? And it shouldn't. The world only stops for you if you die. It's okay to have up and downs. Our whole life, the whole nature around us is cycles. It's up and downs. Seasons change, sun goes up, sun goes down, weather comes and goes. Your heart even shows you that as long as you live, there are ups and downs. So it's okay to feel down. It's okay to feel hurt. Just don't let yourself drown there. You can let yourself drown there for a little bit. You can allow yourself a little bit of drowning, but don't let yourself stay there for too long, because the longer you stay there, the more of a habit it becomes rather than a temporary state that you're in. Always have your routine. Wake up in the morning, take care of yourself, go for a walk, find a physical activity. Finding a physical activity is the best way to get your mind off things. Running was ideal for me. When I was running, I totally let it all go, and my body actually produced good positive hormones, and I felt so much better after running. Now, the max I can do is do my ab workout and go for a walk, but it works for now. The second thing is give yourself happiness. And what I mean by giving yourself happiness, find things that make you happy. The reason why you're suffering so much, most probably, is because a lot of happy moments were connected to that person, or some of your happiness was robbed from you. So you need to find it again. What I mean by happiness, for me, it's making myself matcha in the morning. It gives me some form of dopamine. I just enjoy it. Good food gives me good hormones, makes my body feel better. Fresh air, going to the ocean, nature gives me a lot of good hormones. And it's actually proven that the more you're in nature, the more dopamine you get. So go out, talking to my friends. Even though I'm a very introverted person, I have a selection of friends that I love, that I trust, that I'm so grateful for, and talking to them makes me feel so much better. There are a lot of small things that make me happy, and I know those things, and they help me whenever I need help. Okay, next one. I feel like big one is reading for me. Why it's a big one? Because all the suffering, all the sadness comes from my head, and I can point it out when it happens. Somehow, mostly it happens at night or in the evening. Like, I get the sad thoughts, I start thinking about sad memories, probably because I get tired, my brain finds a perfect time to attack me a little bit. So it attacks me with sad thoughts, thinking that I need to message that person, God forbid, or that the life was so good when I was with him, okay? I know it's all self-sabotage. I know these thoughts are not good for me. So I observe them and I decide not to let them stay in my head. I control my thoughts, not my thoughts control me. I choose which thoughts I give attention to and which thoughts I don't. It's like a spiral. So if you grab onto thought, if you start thinking about it more and more, you start spiraling. The best thing you can do is decide not to grip on that thought. Decide that it's a cloud that's gonna pass by and it's gonna be gone. Whether in 5 minutes, whether next morning, it's gonna be gone. So suffering comes from the head. And the best thing I can do is to read books. Because whenever I read books, I get consumed by another universe, by another world, by the author's thoughts, by the author's opinions. If it's like a fiction book, it's even better sometimes. It lets you like relive a different life. You're consumed in the characters' thoughts, opinions, life, actions, and it gets my mind off things. That's probably the reason why I started reading a lot whenever I go through hard times. Now let's talk. That's actually something that I wrote when I was in Ukraine. Okay, so I'm referring to this as no. A small disclaimer, I'm not saying that I've been through the hardest things this world is going to offer or was offering. This is not a comparison. I face my challenges, will face their challenges. Nobody's challenges are harder or easier. It's always based on self-perception and how much you can handle. For somebody, losing their pen might feel like suffering, and I cannot devalue this experience for them. So when I'm saying that I've been through tough times, surely people who are still in Ukraine, people who are still going through war, their life is much tougher. I'm sitting here in Bali because I made a choice to leave, because I found jobs, because I went through different types of hard. All I'm trying to do in this video is to show the thoughts that I had, the mindset that I had, to help me get through breakup, the start of war, constantly moving around, whatever that is. I'm not saying I'm David Goggins. I hope my thoughts will just help somebody who is going through something hard, okay? That's all I'm hoping for. You need to remember that you're capable of more than you think. When you feel stuck, the thing that's holding you back is not you or the situation. It's your mind. Your mind loves everything that is familiar. For your mind, everything that is familiar is your comfort zone, even if that something is something that's harmful, like being in a toxic environment, because that's where you grew up in with your parents. So it's going to be seeking the same environment. That's why after a breakup, your mind goes to how good it was, how you should message that person, you should come back to that person, because that is what familiar, that is what your brain got used to, not because it was actually good for you. It clings to comfort, even though this comfort might be destroying you. So sometimes all you need to do to change your life is to take just one step forward. Don't think 10 steps ahead, don't think a whole lifetime ahead. Just take one step forward and trust that you'll figure that out later, because one step won't be as scary as turning your whole life around. And then trust me, you'll figure it out as you go. Number 2, it's never too late to start over. This is something that I've learned. Within one lifetime you can live multiple lives. In my lifetime, and I consider myself young, in my lifetime there was a Valeria who lived in Kiev, who was working in the office, who had night shifts, who was studying at the same time. She had an apartment with her best friend. She went for morning coffee walks. She loved the city. She loved her job. Then there was Valeria who lived in Portugal post-war. She didn't have a routine. She didn't have a plan. She put on weight. All her happiness came from eating. All she was doing is working, eating, and doing therapy. A lot of therapy, because she needed it. Were these completely two different versions? Absolutely. And I'm not either of them anymore. I'm a Valeria now who lives in Bali, who has a routine, who eats healthy, who prefers to stay as healthy as possible, who has a lot of friends, creates content. I was never really a person who created content. Do these 3 people, even to me, feel completely different? Absolutely. They have different dreams, they have different skills, they have different routines, they have different goals, they have different visions for their life. Are both of these versions me? Absolutely. But that's what I mean by having a different life. You can reinvent yourself as many times as you need to within your life, and it's never too late. There was this guy, he wasn't a writer, he never wrote anything, but he was dreaming of becoming a writer. So he decided that for 1 year he's gonna reinvent himself, and he's gonna fully dedicate himself to being a writer and live a life like he's a writer. Quit his job, he changed his habits. He was writing for 8 hours every single day, even though before he never did. Of course, his circle of people he talked to changed. And at the end of the year, he not only had a finished book, a finished manuscript, he also had an experience of a lifetime being a writer, basically. Sometimes we don't change ourselves or things in our life because we think it's permanent, because we think that's how it's supposed to be. No, it's not. You are meant to change. We're scared to start over. We're scared we're gonna be regretting it. We're scared that we won't be able to go back. But the thing is, most things in life aren't permanent, and they are not supposed to be. The teeth that you grow as a baby fall out and you grow new ones. Your hair falls out and it grows again. Your nails do as well. The cells in your body, everything changes. Leaves on the trees change. And doesn't it excite you that you are not caged in one life, in one lifetime? You are not bound to have one life. You can live as many lives within this experience in this body as you want to. If you're feeling angry, stuck, or lost, it's good. Use that energy to transition yourself, to push yourself towards a change. Energy never disappears. It turns into something else. So use that energy constructively. Use those negative emotions. Transform your anger, transform your sadness into a new life, into a happy life for yourself. A very important thing that my therapist told me once: change is only scary for your mind. For your body, it is completely natural. Your body is used to change, and you have to change in order to live. We never stay the same. Our body doesn't stay the same. It's okay to grieve. Just like I've mentioned, you need to go through the grieving stages. Losing a person is hard, but breaking up with a person feels like losing a person as well. So cry, let yourself grieve, all like the 5 grieving stages, right? You need to go through all of them. It doesn't have to be in this exact order, but mostly people go through all of them in order to accept the experience. But remember that it's only a part of you. This grief, this sadness, it's not you. I want you to picture this feeling of sadness, this feeling of being broken, this broken heart inside you. It can be in a ball, in a cage, sphere of light or color, however it feels, picture it inside you. And now see that it is inside you. It is not the whole you. It is a part of you that is affecting you at the minute. And the best thing you need to do is just to let it be. And once you let it be there, once you give your attention to it, it dissolves. And what is left is you, your whole body, your clean spirit. No feeling is bigger or stronger than you because it is always inside you. See sadness as waves. See bad emotions as waves. They always come and go. Yes, they can come back. It doesn't mean that you cry for 2 days like me and then you're never feeling sad again. I know I'll have my moments of sadness. Do I dread them? A little bit. But I'm admitting that they are going to happen. And that's okay. Because once again, everything is changed. They will come and they'll go as waves. And I know that because they come, they will also go. This will always end. This period will always end. I promise you. Just give it time. The main thing is remove the resistance from it. Stop resisting this experience. Stop resisting this pain. The pain comes from resistance. Let the waves come as easy as you let them in, just as easily let them go. Sometimes the pain stays for longer because we hold on too tightly. Because we're afraid that if we let it go, we'll need to change. Our life will completely change. The pain is the last connection that we have to that person. We analyze it, we replay it, we nurture it like a plant, but healing is not going to happen unless you let it leave, unless you let it fully leave you. Stop asking, why did this happen to me? Stop feeling sorry for yourself and start asking yourself, who am I now? What can I do differently now? What hobbies can I pick up now? What kind of life can I have now with this time, freedom? Make yourself happy. You cannot see the past now. You cannot see the whole staircase. All you need to see, all you need to understand is just one stair, one step forward. And one day when you're up 100 stairs, maybe you'll look back and you'll be very grateful for that experience that you have now, even though in this moment you have no idea how it's possible because it hurts so much. So the main points that we can highlight for ourselves from this video is that you're stronger than you think. You can start your life over at any point and you are allowed to become somebody new and be excited to meet that new person. Am I feeling better? Absolutely. I woke up in a bit an uneasy feeling because I was having all sorts of dreams. I'm feeling so much better. I'm very grateful to you for being here with me and for letting me talk it all out. I'm very grateful to have you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna go do my daily stuff.